Good afternoon to you. Today we will continue with parliamentary procedure. In the last class, we have seen the questions. So we have analyzed what are the various kinds of questions and explained what is starred question, unstarred question, and short notice question. Today we will continue with other aspects of questions. What are the conditions, etc. Firstly, you should know not less than 10 days and not more than 21 days is the notice period for preferring a question. At least 5 clear days of notice should be given to the ministers to whom the questions are addressed. In fact, in practice, an advance copy of the question which has been provisionally admitted is sent to the concerned department by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha Secretariat to enable the department to collect necessary information from the subordinate agencies and prepare the reply. And when the admitted questions have been received, the department will review the reply prepared provisionally and they will finalize. This is the normal procedure. There are certain conditions of admissibility for questions. The important conditions you should know. One is, it's all purely based on common sense, nothing to be worried. The question should be clearly and precisely expressed, obviously, because you are giving the reply, you are giving the reply to all the 543 members, and the entire country watches. So naturally, the question should be concise and precise and brief. Secondly, if a question contains any statement, the member who makes the question is personally responsible for the statement. That is, he takes the responsibility. Accuracy point of view. Secondly, it should not contain any argument, inference, or ironical expressions. Thirdly, it should not exceed 150 words. The question normally should not exceed 150 words. It should not relate to any matter for which the union government is not responsible. Affirmatively, if you talk, it should relate to the union government. The subject should relate to the union government, which is given in list 1. You cannot ask something about the state affairs because for that state legislature is already there. So whatever you ask, that should relate to the union government. Secondly, it should not refer to a matter which is of sub judice nature or any matter which is under the consideration of the parliamentary committee or quasi-judicial bodies or judicial bodies or semi-judicial bodies or inquiry commissions, etc. Naturally, these are all under discussion. When it comes finally, then you can always put the question. And it should not relate to a issue which has already been answered in the House. Already it has been answered or it has been discussed in a motion. Then what is the use? So it is redundant. Secondly, the question should not ask for information on trivial matters. Trivial because already you have got website is there. So how many trains are running? It's a website is there. How many trains are there? What is the number of hospitals? It is already there. Unless it gives some more, it wanted another additional information regarding condition of hospital, then you can ask. So mere statistical nature, as far as possible, it should be discouraged. Similarly, it should not relate to any advice tendered by the Council of Ministers to the President. No. So, because it is at article, what is Article 74 says? Whether the Council of Ministers has given any advice to the President, and if so, what is the nature of advice cannot be questioned in any court of law. Any court of law. So, that being the case, there is no question. You cannot ask such questions. Secondly, your question should not relate to the relations between the foreign relations between two countries. No, it is not allowed. Similarly, state affairs regarding head of state, neither about the President of India nor about the governor. And the member should address the question to the correct ministers with the designation to whom the subject is concerned. Every member has been given the demarcation of responsibilities. That is, normally it is called allocation of subjects, allocation of business. The allocation of business gives for each subject, which are all the subjects, and to whom that subject is given to the department. So, there are list of subjects to whom the subject has been given. The same booklet is given to the members of parliament, which is named as demarcation of responsibilities. So, with the help of those books, the member should address the correct minister. Otherwise, the purpose will be defeated, because if a member by mistake address the question to a minister who is not there, or to whom the question does not relate, then what is the use? So, you should address the minister correct, with the designation correctly. The total number of questions, starred question, should not be more than 20. So, what is the limit for starred question? 20. What is the limit for unstarred question? 230. Suppose if the number of states under President rule is more, then it can go up to, you can always say about 230, 200, 255, maximum 255. 230 is the normal limit, 25 questions may be added. Secondly, another point you should remember is, you should, the reply given by the minister, should not be more than 15 seconds. It should not be more than 15 seconds. See, if the question reveals very important subject, in that case, the question is tabulated according to the, I have already told you, short notice question. If the short notice question is not acceptable, then the minister will say, I am not able to accept it. So, it will be in the starred question, it will be in the first. So, like that, with how the question is answered, the question is answered in a very, very excellent way in the Lok Sabha. How the speaker reads the question. Question number she reads. Let us say 231. The speaker will say 231. So, the concerned member, the author of the question, will rise from the seat and he will repeat the question number. Technically, he should read the question, but for paucity of time, it cannot be done. So, he will simply read, he should stand up, because after all, speaker is telling you the 231. So, that the author of the question is 231, should stand from the seat and he should repeat the question number. The moment question number is repeated, the minister will reply. Minister will reply part by part. See, the minister will reply part by part. Supposing if the reply is pages, 2 pages, 3 pages, so in that case, it will consume lot of time. So, you consume lot of time at the cost of other members. We have 20 questions are there. So, naturally, it will consume lot of time. So, the rule is, if the reply of the question takes more than 15 seconds, remember, 15 seconds, then the reply is reflected in a statement attached to the main reply. So, main reply will be, a statement is laid on the table of the house and the statement is attached to the main reply. so that the minister need not reply including what is given in the statement. So that statement is given to all the members, and all the members will readily have the reply. So the reply will be, technically the reply will be, a statement is laid at the table of the House, and the statement will give full reply to the questions part by part. So that is one. Secondly, remember, with reference to the reply given by the minister, the author of the question can ask two supplementaries. The author of the question can ask two supplementaries, and other members who have previously intimated the speaker can ask one supplementary question. So, author of the question can ask two supplementaries. Other members who have previously intimated the speaker can ask one supplementary. Supposing the question is authored by two members, so the first signatory can ask two supplementaries, and the other member, second signatory, can ask one supplementary. Now these two are obligatory. The rest of the members, supplementaries, are totally discretion of the speaker. So it depends upon the speaker according to their wisdom. Some speaker, what he will say, this question is important. So they will allow 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 supplementaries. So sometimes the one question will consume 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes, so in that case, the ministers will be able to reply only 4 starred questions. Rest of the starred questions will be treated as unstarred and laid on the table of the House. The written reply will be laid on the table of the House. That is, other replies, the replies to the other questions, minister will not be able to reply as a starred question. They will not orally reply. These replies will be placed on the table of the House. Some speakers, what they will do, they will not prolong more than 10 minutes out of 10 minutes or 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, they will go to the next question. Their intention is they should cover as many questions as possible. So they may cover out of 20, they may cover even 15. So because according to their opinion, the officers have struggled so much for collecting information, giving information. So the members, the country should know what are the details. So we will make them to reply all the questions so that the country is benefited. This is one view. Another view is, when you take up a subject, that should be exhaustive. We should give all the information. So even if you take two questions, does not matter. That reply should be exhaustive and comprehensive, so that the members of the House know, and always the members of the public know. That is the intention of the other side. So whatever the speaker is the monarch, according to their discretion, they can ask the members. Now, after supplementary is given, remember, suppose there are some occasions where the members go on asking only one question, and the speaker thinks they are taking exhaustive time, so it is not proper. He is trying to go to the other question. In that case, some cases, speaker may advise the member, you come for half an hour discussion. Don't dwell on the same question, because you have taken enough time. Now it requires, I agree, it requires elaborate reply. So for that purpose, there is a provision already, half an hour discussion, that we will see later on also. It is related to the question, in which cases the reply requires elucidation, clarification, elaboration. So there is a half an hour discussion is there. The member can give notice where he feels the reply is not exhaustive and the reply requires elucidation. So in that case, half an hour discussion is there. When a member is called by the speaker and such a member is absent, normally the question is treated as unstarred and the reply is included in the proceedings. Nevertheless, in such of these cases, speaker may allow the reply, and the supplementaries can be asked by the members. This has been adopted as a result of the scandal on cash for Kori. There was a scandal. As you know, in this case, the allegation was that the money was accepted by the members for raising parliamentary questions. In this case, 10 members of Lok Sabha who were involved in the scandal were expelled from the membership of the House in December 2005. So this you should remember. notice of question must be given in writing to the Secretary General of the House, specifying the official designation of the minister to whom it is addressed and the date on which the proposed question is to be placed in the list of questions. An asterisk, that is star, should be put at the beginning of the question in respect of all starred questions. Now the question is whether any question can be addressed to a private member. See, whether a private member can be put any question. So question is, remember, it is not only for ministers. Minister replies on behalf of the government. Kindly understand. Minister replies on behalf of the government. So where the question now is whether any question can be addressed to a private member. Yes, any question can be addressed to the private member also, provided. What is the condition? The subject matter of the question relates to some bill or resolution or other matters connected with the business of the house for which the member is responsible. The member is responsible. Procedure with regard to such question is the same as followed in the case of questions addressed to the ministers. Nevertheless, most important point, supplementary questions are not allowed with regard to private member questions. Nevertheless, again, clarificatory questions can be allowed by the speaker. That is the most important point. Questions cannot be addressed to the speaker. Another point we should remember, questions cannot be addressed to the speaker. However, there were occasions when the questions were addressed to the presiding officer of the Central Legislative Assembly in the earlier days. That is, when they were actually replied by him on the floor of the House. Nevertheless, since 1937, there has been no occasion where a question was asked of the speaker. If there is a subject matter related to the speaker, that will be settled by the Secretary General. Suppose I have some question about the functioning of Rajya Sabha Secretariat, Lok Sabha Secretariat. If you cannot put the question on the chairman or speaker, because for that purpose, in case the issue is very serious, speaker will call the members and discuss across the table. There will not be a question addressed to the speaker or the chairman Rajya Sabha. With this, we will end the class. Next class, we will see further. Thank you.